This is the spinal cord within the fifth cervical vertebrae. You can see the body of the vertebrae. This is the anterior portion, the spinous process, the posterior portion. As we look at the spinal cord, we have the epidural space, which is this fatty area here, and then we have our dura mater. The subdural space is kind of between, and then our arachnoid mater, and then the pia mater surrounds our spinal cord directly. In our spinal cord, we have the white matter on the outside, the gray matter on the inside. This is our posterior horn, lateral horn, and anterior horn of the gray matter. This is the gray commissure connecting the left and right sides together, and the central canal running right down the middle. We have our anterior fissure here, the posterior median fissure here. We have the posterior funiculi or columns. The lateral columns are funiculi, and the anterior columns are funiculi here of the white matter. This shows the rootlets coming off of the spinal cord on both sides, the anterior and posterior side. This is the posterior root ganglion that contains all of our sensory ganglion. Runs through the sensory nerve here to the posterior horn of the spinal cord. The anterior horn of the spinal cord is where we see the motor rootlets coming off, leading into the motor root here. The motor and sensory roots both come together and leave as the spinal nerve. The spinal nerve is then going to split into the posterior and anterior rami here. We can actually see the white rami communicant coming down to this sympathetic chain ganglion right here. Might be it. What else?
What was this gray portion again?
This is the subarachnoid space here, below the arachnoid mater, between that and our pia mater. And we can see the ligaments attaching the pia mater here also in that space.